it's a work in progress. I'm trying. And I'm gonna show you in a few months, I'm gonna have a six-pack. You wait and see. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
So here I am, 6 months later, and I'm pretty happy with the results. I honestly had no idea if I was gonna see any difference at all, but I humbly think that I made some decent progress. And I know what you're thinking. And honestly, I did know exactly how lean I needed to be to actually have abs because I didn't really have any. I had some, everybody has some, but I had to be this lean to see them, which is not healthy or sustainable. And to be honest, I've been decently lean, maybe not as lean as my stage physique, but arguably a similar level of leanness as I am now, and I just didn't have any developed abs, at least not enough for them to show through, kind of like I do now, even though I was like the same body fat percentage. So 6 months ago, I decided I was going to build them up, so I didn't need to be sub 12% body fat just to have visible abs. And just as a small disclaimer, you don't need to have abs just to look fit. But in my own way, I feel like I am a bodybuilder, someone striving to build muscle everywhere and to have a balanced physique. And hey, if I want to have abs, let me do me and you do you. And ultimately you clicked on the video because I assume you want abs too. So how did I do it? Well, for starters, for the past 6 months, I trained my abs every single day. I think I missed a few days whenever I was sick or really not feeling well, and I think on the plane to and from Hong Kong, but seriously, like that was it. When I'm committed to something, I am committed. And if this isn't already obvious, you do have to lose body fat to show some abs, which I'm sure you already know, but you actually have to have developed abs under there for them to show up. So to accomplish this, I basically had two rules. One, it needed to be sustainable, and two, it also needed to make some sort of sense. And the sustainable part was actually pretty easy to outline. I would do something that I could do at home at first to ingrain the habit, which is how I did it for the first 4 months. And it had to take just like 5 to 6 minutes max of my day. So maybe like 3, maybe 4 sets if I was really feeling myself of just one exercise, but every single day. And rule number 2, it needed to make some sort of sense. So like I said, I started out by doing 3 to 4 sets of just one exercise. And for the first 2 months or so, all I did were leg raises. Like most girls, I wanted to target my lower tummy, so I focused on that first. And leg raises were my kind of gateway exercise, if you will. Something easy that could be done at home with no equipment, and something I could do to prove myself that if I did this simple exercise every single day, then 6 months of training my abs seemed a little bit more possible. So after 2 months of leg raises, I wanted to graduate and train more of the upper abs and the full rectus abdominis evenly. And that will give the appearance of that quintessential six-pack, which means it was probably a good idea to start doing a crunch movement. And the rationale behind this was based on some EMG data that supports leg raises targeting the whole abs, but more activation in the lower abs and more upper abs from doing a crunch movement. So crunch I did. I started off by doing good old-fashioned crunches, still just doing 3 to 4 sets of 20 every single day. And I did this for about 2 more months. And honestly, some days I would still mix in some leg raises if I was feeling nostalgic. But after all that, with about 4 months of ab training under my belt, I was totally, completely, and fully committed. I was at a place that I felt weird if I didn't do my mini ab routine. And once I got to this place, I thought I was ready. I was ready to start doing big girl ab exercises, and I moved on to a crunch machine. Now this was important because this is something that you could actually apply a very simple but fundamental principle to muscle hypertrophy, and that is progressive overload. This was important for me not only to start seeing real development come through, but also because I wanted my routine to only take 5 to 10 minutes max. I didn't want to keep adding reps of leg raises or adding reps of crunches to apply progressive overload because adding sets would ultimately take more time. So I needed to add tension while still doing only 3 to 4 sets so I could still do it pretty quickly. So I did, and I did, and I did. So for the final 2 months, I have been getting progressively stronger at using the same crunch machine every single day. And at first, I was only able to do 10 pounds of my 4 sets of 20. And now, after 2 months, I'm able to do my 4 sets of 20 with 50 pounds. Now, these numbers are arbitrary to this particular machine, but I'm sure you get the idea. So after my morning walk, I do this exercise every single day, and I'm getting stronger at it. And I think I'm going to continue doing it at least for the next couple of months. And if you guys were wondering, for those of you running my women's specialization program, like I was running myself the past 6 months, if there were prescribed ab exercises in the program, I would do those in addition to my morning ab sets. So on some days, I was actually doing abs twice a day. Just a few additional sets, at most just an extra 5 to 10 minutes on those days, but I still wanted to let you guys know in case you're running my program. So that's it. That's how I managed to train abs every single day for 6 months, and these were my results. I personally thought this was easier than lumping all of my weekly ab training on one day, because I would probably dread that one day and not be as consistent with it. But that's just personal preference. Oh, and I also wanted to mention, if you are looking for a more in-depth and sciencey overview of ab training in general, I'd highly recommend checking out Jeff's Ab Science Explained video. Anyways, this video was super fun to make, and I'm so happy I made it because I would have never believed the results that I got if I didn't actually film it. But if you enjoyed it, please give the video a thumbs up and share it with those who could benefit from it. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye.